Hey everyone, it's Bebe here. So today is my DnM with Bebe number 2. Now, there's this one person that actually, well, there's a few that have come up to me and said, what sensitivity do you play on? Do you have any tips and tricks for sort of playing the game and playing COD for quickscoping, etc.? So today I wanted to share I guess, my tips and tricks and what I find when I don't range, how I find playing COD a bit more easier, how I started to quickscope. Really, number one is this is obviously what people will call hard scoping, but I tend to say that if you are holding your breath, then you are hard scoping. But so pretty much what I learned is what you want to do is I scope in just as I see the scope. So that I just saw the scope. That's how I learned. Now I can sort of just guess. I don't really need to go all the way in. But yeah, so as soon as I see the scope, and pretty much where you see that scope, and it takes a while you need to sort of get it under pressure. But so let's say I want to get that clock. You sort of just see where that scope is, and you'll get that clock. What I used to do is I used to practice on targets like this. So I would just scope in where I would just see the scope, and I would just try and get the picture frames, and etc. like that. Now I started on a very, very low sensitivity, obviously because a lot of the times I'd be like, oh my god, I'm moving too fast. But slowly, see, people are sort of different. I had to go to a very high sensitivity because in competitive gaming, as soon as you shoot one, you would have to turn around and shoot another. So I sort of had to get used to a really fast sensitivity. But I think 6, I got comfortable with 5 or 6 on online matches, just so you could sort of drag. Once you start to get used to where you can see just where the scope is, you can tend to drag. So let's just say someone's running across there. You have to sort of drag at where they are running, so you're shooting where they are going. So let's just say this plant was moving, and I'm scoping here where that box is, but you sort of just drag it. You sort of just drag to where they're going, but that's something that can get to something else like moving objects. But other than that, so I would practice on targets, and what I used to do was I used to just go to a wall like this, and I would just randomly shoot, and I would have to try and shoot that target again, and I would constantly practice where I'm shooting the same target. Trust me, at the start I would shoot here and then I would go up there, and it just took a while. So I would just shoot and I would just keep hitting. I would just keep hitting that same target. I would drag a little bit if I needed to, and I would just keep trying to shoot that same target, which is right here. So what I would do is I think my button layout is tactical. So my melee is the B, and my crouch and prone is my what is it? The left thumbstick. Now the reason for that is because for you to be constantly shooting at someone, I'll have to choose another class. I'll choose my rush class, and I'll just jump off the edge here. Now the reason why I go into tactical layout is because I can drop shot. Now to be able to drop shot like this as you're shooting, to press B to drop shot would almost be really, really hard to do. So what I did have to get used to is my crouch and prone would be my left thumbstick. So as I'm aiming and as I am shooting, I am dropping down. And that's something that you can do with your thumbstick. And what happens is, what drop shotting does is, if someone's dropping down and the other person's trying to shoot them, you're dropping and they're constantly trying to hit at your head, and they realize, oh my god, they've dropped to the floor. So by the time you are shooting and dropping, your cursor sort of stays, let's see what I can do, your cursor sort of stays up and drops their whole body, and by the time you get to the floor, you've killed them, and they're still trying to aim at the top of your head and realize, hey, they're actually down here. So that's another tip that I use a lot for sniping. What I would do, and people actually say I drop shot a lot, I would literally quick scope and shoot, drop, quick scope and shoot, get up, quick scope and shoot, drop, quick scope and shoot and get up. I'll show you that. Now, I remember back in the competitive days, people were just like, ooh, sleight of hand, noob, whatever. It's because people think sleight of hand is like a cheating way. And it really isn't. It's a sort of, you scope in faster. So by the time you scope in, you can see it. With marathon, it is very slow. I think marathon scoping is if you already know where your scope is going to be, you can move to marathon. Some people prefer it, some people don't. A lot of people jump around and shoot and jump around and whatnot, but I think if you're sort of standing still and shoot, it's more accurate. I believe so. I noticed that if you're running around, if you're moving and trying to shoot, you probably won't be as accurate as standing in one spot. So yeah, that's sort of, I guess, my tips, my sensitivity, and my I guess, when I began, that's what I would do. I would just sort of practice. And another thing I would try to stress out is, no matter how hard you fail, I know a lot of people are just like, I want a quick scope, but I just can't. I'll go into a lobby and I just can't. I keep dying. I give up. I think that's what I had. No matter how many times I died, I would keep quickscoping. I would just use a sniper no matter what. I don't care how many times I died. I would just use a sniper non-stop, and that's eventually you just get used to it. Okay, let's try and hit that there. So you almost, yeah, like you just see the scope, you just see the crosshair. Did I get it? I did get it. So you just see the crosshair and you shoot. So what I would suggest you do is you just go into a lobby or whatever, and you just practice on targets. And then you go into moving targets, and I suggest that you shoot towards where they're running. So yeah, that's all for my DIY sort of quick scoping. Oh, cool. When you YY with no ammo, it does this weird little thing. But anyway. That's my little DIY quick scoping 101. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any other questions, just let me know on my Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.